Tonight we're going to continue our study of Dr. King and his speeches and his program and his vision that changed the world. So we're picking up, this is part 2 of a study that we did last week. And so we're going to kick off tonight looking at the keys to Dr. King's speeches. Now, I want you to understand here, this is one of the greatest orators that ever walked the earth. This is a man that moved mountains. This is a man that stepped up and said, I'll be your spokesman. I'll pick up this cause and I'll champion it. Change the world. So let's look at how he did it. So the first thing he did is he spoke in the simple and common language of the people. Now, this may seem like a kind of a, well, duh, but listen. John Maxwell writes a book called Everyone Communicates and Few Connect. If you don't feel like you're connecting to your clients, you should read the book and then go out. And if you're still not connecting to your clients, you should read the book again. And then you should go out and try it. And if you're not connecting with your clients, you should read the book again and again and again and again and again until you are a master of connectivity. Because once you've mastered the art of connecting to your client, the rest of this thing just falls into place like dominoes. Darren Hardy says, I'd rather someone read a book 10 times and own it than read 10 books. Dr. King understood connecting to his clients. And it meant speaking the language of the people, not getting bonus points for eloquence, not getting bonus points for big, extravagant words, but for simply speaking the common language of the people, speaking to the people, not speaking at the people, being one of. You know, one of the things I love about Dr. King that we talked about last week was he didn't invent the cause, he didn't cause the cause. He just, get this now, because this is important. He just said, I'll step up and be the spokesman. I'll step up and I'll champion the cause. Folks, we all in the same business. We all represent the same cause, a world free of pain and suffering. Will you step up and champion the cause? Will you put your own look-good programs aside for the cause? Will you put your dreams and the dreams of your team out there and promote the cause? You see, this is not a business that we have to sell. This is not a business we have to sell people into. This is a cause we have to champion. Yes, it's a product. Yes, it's a business, but it's more than that. This is a company that does it different. This is a company that does it better. This is a company that does it exceptionally. And this is a product that changes lives and a business that changes lives. It's time we quit selling it and we start championing it. It comes from here. And we simply speak to the people in the common language of the people. You see, he shared stories. Now I want to stop there because there's more to this. But these first 3 words are huge. He shared stories. Folks, if all you're doing is telling facts, I'll bet you're getting killed. I'll bet your business is just puh. Because facts tell, but stories sell. Dr. King shared stories. Stories of sacrifice. Stories of courage by the people. You see, I tell people all the time, if you don't have a great story, use mine. Because it's a story of the people. I'm just a regular guy like everybody else. I just decided to live an exceptional life. And I know some of you are championing that same cause. Ordinary people that live extraordinary lives. That's a cause worth championing. Ordinary people that live extraordinary lives. Who wants to sign up for some of that? Any ordinary people out there that want to live an extraordinary life. Tell stories of ordinary people living extraordinary lives, and people will want to join your business. Tell stories of ordinary people with everyday problems that are living better lives because of the products that this business offers. Ordinary people with extraordinary weight loss. Ordinary people that are now having more energy. Ordinary people that are now living higher quality of lives. Ordinary people that are now raising their kids instead of being gone all the time. Ordinary people that are now living free of pain and suffering. That's a story worth telling. Are you telling the story, or are you just giving the facts? You see, Martin Luther King knew all the facts. He knew the percentages. He knew the metrics. He knew where the problem was. But what got people fired up for his cause was the stories of people that sacrificed, people that were courageous, people that did things that put their lives in jeopardy, or they lost their lives because they stood up for something they believe in. He's telling stories about people that stood up for something, that equality, decency, dignity, and it cost them dearly. Folks, all we're putting up for grabs is a little rejection. So much to give, so much to gain, so little sacrifice in retrospect or comparison. It's time for us to be courageous. It's time for us to tell stories of successful distributors, of successful weight loss clients. It's time to share stories of people that did it, that sacrificed, that were courageous, and now have the life of their dreams. You think that'd sell? You better believe it. Dr. King used biblical symbols. He used imagery. He told personal stories of people in the movement. Now, what does this mean? He personalized it. He let people get into other people's lives. He let people into other people's dreams, into their challenges. But he used symbology. He used imagery as powerful memory triggers, as powerful reminders of sacrifice. But again, what moved the mountains was the emotion, the emotionalizing, the stories, not the facts. The stories, not the facts. There are so many cool things that this company has done for people. You want people to go on a weight loss program? You can give them all the data, and you need to give them some. But give them hope by telling stories of people that have been there, done that, and are still doing great. Personal stories about people having success. He used metaphors to express hope and courage. That's easy. A metaphor states that A is B, or substitutes B or A. It says, instead of this, think of this. We need to help people understand that, you know what? When you work hard in a job, that's no different than working hard in your own business. It's the same. But when you do it for your business, you get the benefit. When you do it in your job, someone else gets the benefit. So since we're going to work hard either way, do you want to put it into somebody else's business or put it into yours? Substitute A for B. We need to help people understand in simple language what this business can be. Dr. King repeated words until they became themes. I have a dream. I mean, this was uttered decades ago. And the average person in America, you walk up to them and say, I have a dream, who do you think of? Martin Luther King, almost every single time, because it became synonymous. But all of us have dreams. How big was his dream? Big enough to change the world. But was it his dream alone? No, he was the mouthpiece for the dream. He was the champion for the dream. Is I dream of a world free of pain and suffering just my dream or just your dream? No, it's Dr. Wentz's dream. But every one of us can champion that dream and align it with our individual dreams and the dreams of our team. And we can create words and repeat words until they become themes. Repetition, repetition, repetition. What are you repeating to your team? Do you speak love into your team? Do you speak belief into your team? Do you tell your team leaders that they are champions, and tell them they are champions, and tell them they are champions, and tell them they are champions until they believe it and become champions? Do you tell yourself that you are a champion and repeat it until you become champions? We need to create themes that move mountains, and we need to repeat them until we get buy-in. Of all human senses, sound is the primary intellectual stimulant, while vision is secondary. A speech combines both sound and vision, therefore can be an unusually effective method of communicating to a mass audience. Why do we spend all the money to do video broadcasting instead of just doing conference calls? Because sound is an intellectual stimulant. It's primary. But when it's backed up with vision, it becomes even more powerful. When you get up on stage and they can see you and they can hear you and they can feel you, your words become electric. They become dynamic. They create energy. And that energy can be transferred to an audience, which can move mountains. This is why all of us that want to be effective in this should strive to get the stage, should strive to be in the spotlight. If you're afraid of it, that's fine. Be afraid of it and face it. If you're one of the few that actually digs it, go get it and make a difference. But whether you love it or whether you fear it or whether you hate it, understand that nothing moves mountains but better than talking to groups. Visualization and hearing. Move others to action. How? Persuade. Persuade. I talk to people all the time that they offer a product and it's yes or no, and it's usually no. They offer the business and it's yes or no, and it's usually no. Why? Because you're waiting for them to take action instead of moving them into action. I'm going to stop here for a moment because somebody out there is going, holy smokes, Tony, you preaching to me? I just got it. My hand just went in the air. And amen. Awesome. We as leaders have to persuade. It's not just enough to offer. You have to move them into action. So what some people call, oh, I don't want to push. Well, that's too bad. Because see, I understand that push is an action. It creates movement. No push, no movement. Persuasion is pushing, it is moving other people into action. I didn't say it's being pushy. I didn't say it's shoving your agenda down somebody else's throat. It's about moving people into action, because even people that want what they want will freeze in fear, and if you do not persuade them to move, they will die where they stand. Take it from a professional firefighter that spent 10 years in the field on a ladder truck, on the carbuster team, running into buildings that everybody else was running out of, having to make decisions on who I drag out and who I come back to get as a corpse. Listen, persuasion is required even when someone is in a situation and they're frozen with fear, and I got to talk them into letting go so I can save their life, because if you keep hanging on to that thing, you're gonna die. Because this building, it's burning down. And I want to save you. But unless I persuade you to let go of that column you're hanging on to and come with me, you're gonna die. Am I being pushy? No, I'm being persuasive. I'm trying to save your life. So when I'm talking to a customer about this product, and I know they need it, and I know it can help them, am I going to move others into action through the art of persuasion? You bet. If someone thinks I'm pushy, tough. I'm trying to change lives. I'm trying to create a world free from pain and suffering. What are you trying to create? A world free of pain and suffering, or a world where nobody has to be uncomfortable so they get to be uncomfortable for the rest of their life because they didn't get the thing that could have changed it? As leaders, we have to move others to action, and that means we have to master the art of persuasion. I didn't say coercion. I didn't say shove your agenda down their throat. I said get them to do what they say they want to do. When someone says I've solved their problem and they don't join, there's a disconnect there, folks. You just said I fixed your problem, but you don't want to do it. That's fear. Fear to move. So now I got to persuade you to move into action. When I offer you a product, when you offer someone a product and they say, yes, you've solved my problem, and they're not buying, there's a disconnect there. They need to be moved into action. They need to be persuaded, and we need to do the right thing. We need to put our own look good programs on the shelf. We need to go put our own personal agenda, how we feel on the shelf, and we need to serve our client. We need to help this person make the decision that they said they want to make, and that, my friends, is persuasion. The life of a leader, it's consumed with activity. In principle-centered leadership, Stephen Covey notes that the best leaders are amazingly productive and that their spirit is enthusiastic. I like the word contagious, because I want, when someone gets around a contagious, enthusiastic leader, they catch it. It's catching. It spreads like a good virus. Productivity spreads. Like I teach my leaders, when you're in motion, never miss an opportunity to let someone on your team know you're in motion. Let them know that you're prospecting. Let them know you're showing the plan. Let them know that you're getting victories. Your team needs to see you in the trenches making it happen. Because leaders that are persuasive because they're leading by example, and they're productive and they're enthusiastic. Effective leaders are reliable. They are tirelessly persistent. And they are the most results-oriented people in the world. In essence, leaders try to get up every morning and make a little progress. Excerpt from On Becoming a Leader by Warren Bennis. But listen to me. Every day you should get up and you should make a goal that you're going to move it forward somewhere. You're going to move it forward spiritually somewhere. You're going to move it forward family somewhere. You're going to move it forward personally somewhere. You're going to move it forward in your business somewhere. And don't try to conquer the world in the day. Just try to take a bite out of it every day. Every day, a new challenge. Every day, a new victory. Every day, something new. every day move the needle forward. Every day. Let's talk about how Martin Luther motivated people to act. You want to be persuasive? You have to motivate people to act. They got to want to act. You can't force it. You got to make it happen and make it their choice. What did he do? Martin Luther King placed events in context. Doing so creates understanding as to why the movement is important, and that in turn allows each individual to decide what the vision means to them personally. This company, this product, this business is about going against the grain in this massive machine in this world that employs most of the world. No, that wasn't an accident. I just kind of theatrical. 90% of people are employed. Man, you think slavery's dead? Man, just go to some of the places where people work and see how little they get paid for what they got to do. Man, it's alive and well. This company gives people a chance to get out of the hamster wheel and chart their own course. This company gives people the ability to break food addictions, to learn how to eat healthier, to learn entrepreneurialism. Folks, do you understand how big this vision is? We aren't just offering an opportunity to join a network marketing company. We aren't just offering an opportunity to buy a vitamin pill. Folks, this vision is so much bigger. We are liberating people from the mundane, from the average, from the mediocre. We are giving people the ability to chart their own course, to set their own sail, to be individualized, to be independent, to be free, to be healthy, to be in a world that aspires to be free from pain and suffering. That's not a vitamin pill. That's not a binary compensation plan. That's the context of what we have to offer. We have freedom for sale. Does anybody want to buy some? Do you really love that job so much that you wouldn't rather be free? Do you really like what you do so much that you wouldn't want to be part of a family, part of a group that is part of a movement to create financial independence, to create health awareness? That's something worth being part of. That's something worth sacrificing for. And each person has to decide individually what their role is and how committed they are individually. Martin Luther King appealed to ethics and morality. You want to get people moving, you got to appeal to the right things. Dr. King often portrayed the movement as not simply a conflict between white people and black people, but a quest for freedom and human dignity. White people had as much to gain as the black people did, because this wasn't a white versus black, or at least he created an arena where it was about equality, where it was about dignity, where it was about ethics and morality and doing the right thing. When I'm out sharing my vision, the reason the name of our company is Excellence Performance Coaching is because I belong to a network marketing company that says this is about your life. This is about your health. And this is about doing it your way. Man, that's what I live for. And my way is excellence. My way is performance or results. And my way is mentorship. or coaching. Does that sound like something you want to be part of? Then you've come to the right place. I want people of ethics. I want people of integrity. I want people of morality on my team. If you want to take advantage of people, go somewhere else. This is a business of service. This is a business of excellence. This is a business of results. We need to portray that we're not like everybody else. We need to quit using language like we're the best, we're the best, we're the best, and start using language of here's what makes us unique. Here's what makes us unique. Here's what makes us unique. Do you realize how many things there are that sets us apart? I don't have to prove I'm better. How about I just prove I'm the only? You draw your own conclusions. So instead of saying, oh, we're the best, we're the best, we're the best, how about we're the only company that guarantees Olympic athletes $1 million if they fail a banned substance test? How about if we're the only company that batch tests ingredients to make sure your products that your family eats are pure and potent? How about we're the only product that gives you a health assessment and almost unlimited health pack combinations in the My Health Pack? I go on and on and on, but you get it. He appealed to ethics and morality. We need to do the same thing. We need to show people why our company is unique, because it's founded on ethics and morality and doing the right thing by others. A world free of pain and suffering. A quest for freedom and human dignity. Martin Luther King said that. But you know what? I got to ask you a question. Could it be said of what we do that we are on a quest for freedom and human dignity? I would say, indeed we are. A quest for financial freedom to live our life as we will, and a quest for human dignity to live our life in happiness and health because of awareness around nutrition and healthy lifestyle. Man, if that's not a quest for freedom and human dignity, folks, I don't know what is. Martin Luther King motivated people to move because he shared facts and advocated specific initiatives. Great leaders will point right to the problem and clearly give several solutions. You see, leaders don't run from the problem. They don't try to cover up the problem. They don't try to pretend it doesn't exist. That's what the weak do. Strong leaders acknowledge the problem. They acknowledge the situation, and they give solutions so that it can be solved. This is why I tell people, when people say, what do you say if somebody says, is this direct sales or is this network marketing? Answer the question. Yes, it is. Of course it is. What else would I be doing? Buying some archaic franchise so I can own a street corner somewhere when I can have the world? Of course it's direct sales. A business where 80% of the women that are making six figures are doing it in direct sales? Of course it's direct sales. Leaders aren't afraid of the questions because they're sold out to the answers. That's why people that do well in this business are people that are problem solvers. Because a leader will point right to the problem and say, yeah, I can see where you could see that's a problem. Here's why it's not. Here's the solution. In other words, you don't shy away from the question. You don't try to move away. You take it head on and you deal with it because you're strong and because you can and because you can offer solutions. Dr. King provided continual encouragement and set a good example. We have to pour into our teams. We have to cheerlead. We have to celebrate. We have to give. We have to we have to be the encourager. Part of being a mentor is letting people know they're doing a good job. And when they try and fail and try and fail and try and fail, pick them back up and dust them off, pick them back up and dust them off, and pick them back up and dust them off, because this is a business of experiential learning. There's only one way to become great in this business, and that is to go out and not be so hot for a while. And learn to laugh at yourself. And learn to learn from your failures. And learn to grow yourself so that you can grow others and set a good example. He provided continual encouragement to his team, and he set a good example. Folks, we have to continually encourage our teams and set a good example. Number 4, consolidate. Form alliances with others. Dr. King advocated the creation of alliances of many kinds: political, social, religious, intellectual, economic, and cultural. He regularly articulated 4 major advantages that resulted in such alliance building. Number 1, coming together creates energy, enthusiasm, and courage. Coming together creates energy, enthusiasm, and courage. Number 2, major social change is best behaved in groups. You want to change your team a person at a time? Or you want to change your team a group at a time? Alliances expand contacts and networks of communication. You've heard this world is wired by 6 degrees of separation. Now they say it's about 4.5 degrees of separation with the internet age. But the more people you know, the more people you bring into alliance, the more people you rally around your cause, the more your contacts and your networks expand. Number 4, alliances allow more results to be achieved. You can always do more on a team than you can do by yourself. The worst mistake you can make in this business is to try and do it by yourself. If you've got mentors, use them. If you've got coaches, use them. If you've got assets, use them. Use the tools. Use what you got. Are you getting the training that's available? Are you watching the videos? Are you going out there and failing and learning and then talking to your mentor and going out and getting the results? Alliances, the more people you can be aligned with, the faster you can achieve results. The biggest job in getting any movement off the ground, Martin wrote, is to keep together the people who form it. This task requires more than a common aim. It demands a philosophy that wins and holds the people's allegiance. And it depends upon open channels of communication between the people and their leaders. And folks, let me tell you, when you get into the big leagues of this business, you can print that out and you can post it on your wall. The biggest job of getting this business off the ground is keeping the team together that formed it. You've got to have a philosophy that's more than let's just go make a quick buck. You want to keep your team together, you got to win and hold the people's allegiance with the philosophy, the open channels of communication between the people and their leaders. In other words, you got to pick a flavor. You can be whatever you want to be. But if you want to be successful, you need to be who you are. You need to be about what you're about and let the chips fall where the chips fall. Some people won't join your team because they're not going to like what you're about. That's fine. In fact, that's a plus. You want loyal people on your team and your leadership that believe what you believe and are following you because they feel like you're going the place they want to go and they want to go too. This type of leader is more interested in keeping the team together than being popular with everybody else. This is called holding true to who you are and what you believe and letting the law of attraction do its thing. Martin Luther kept his people together by asking for specific commitments. In other words, he didn't just have a team where nobody did anything in particular. His team was committed. His team had jobs. He kept his people together by planning and by goal setting. Here in Martin Luther King's own words are 7 key points to remember. A wise leader plans before taking action. A wise leader plans before taking action. We have to put the horse before the cart. Goals and a detailed plan facilitate the process of change. You want to change? You want to go to the next level? Goals and a detailed plan facilitate it. Plans must be set in place to counteract the opposition. If you don't think there's going to be opposition, if you don't think there's going to be pushback, if you don't think there's going to be problems, you living in la la land. A leader plans for the opposition and how to counter it. 4, a detailed plan is needed to channel the masses and keep them headed in the same direction. If you want your team to really chart a course, you got to have a chart. You got to have a compass. We need a North Star to guide us into the future, shrouded with impenetrable uncertainties. Listen, this business, it has its moments, great and tough. And if you want your team to stay the course, you've got to have a detailed plan to keep everybody on track. Folks, believe me, I got a lot of promoter in me. I love to play. I love my free time. There is a reason we do this every Monday night. There is a reason we broadcast 2 H&Fs on Thursday. There is a reason Tammy does our team call on Monday night. There is a reason I do a Men of Excellence broadcast on Monday night. There is a reason for all of this stuff that we do, the systems that we have, all of the online training that we do, the new website we're building, the computer we're purchasing. All of this is part of a detailed plan to keep everybody headed in the same direction. Because somebody's got to do it, and I'm happy to champion that cause. Whether it's upline, crossline, downline, or people just checking out what's happening. If you want your team to grow and prosper and be in a movement, a mass movement, you've got to have a detailed plan and a system. 5, goals unify people. People are united despite differences of age and social status. They are all united around one objective. This is a powerful force which no society may wisely ignore. Goals unify people. You get your people around a cause, and that cause will take you to the stars. 6, goals motivate people. In any movement, you have to have some simple demand around which you galvanize forces. Goals motivate people. You give people a benchmark to hit, it puts them in motion. If it's not putting them in motion, they're probably not leaders. Goals stimulate action. Progress whets the appetite for greater progress. And the nearer you get to the goal, often the more determined you are to get there. There is a glowing excitement to reach and create goals. Folks, listen, I'm just going to be very honest with you. If someone's looking at what we're talking about here, about goals stimulate action, goals motivate people, and you're talking to people say, oh, that stuff doesn't motivate me. That's because they're unmotivated people. Go find somebody different to work with. People that actually have a heartbeat, that are motivated, that want to go do something with their life. This works every time. Goals stimulate action. People of excellence want to achieve. People of excellence want to grow. People of mediocrity want to pull everybody back into the crab pot with them. Goals stimulate action. And when you've got to go get it on your hands, goals work. It gets them into momentum. It gets them to run and chase and pursue the finish line. Number 5, touch. Dr. Martin Luther King understood keeping in touch with his team. Walk slowly through the crowd. Walk. Meet the people. Talk with the people. Let me just give you just a hint here. When you go to conventions, when you go to events, as a leader, be available. Talk to the people. Say hi to the people. Get to know the people. Ask questions of the people. Walk slowly through the crowd and be available to the people, to your team. If you're the leader on a Super Saturday, the only thing you should be doing as a leader is working with the people and talking. You should not be setting up the equipment. You should not be doing anything except working the room, touching the people. Walk slowly through the crowd. Be with the team. 5 benefits of MBWA management by walking around. Obtain key information. Keep people informed. Obtain feedback. Facilitate learning. Understand what people think and feel. You want the pulse of your team? You got to be out there with your team. The qualities of compassion and empathy are not limited to those leaders who experienced difficult circumstances earlier in life. It should be remembered that Martin Luther King Jr. has always been regarded as a compassionate man of the common people. As a matter of fact, when Time magazine named him 1963 Man of the Year, the cover story acknowledged that he had an indescribable capacity for empathy that is the touchstone of leadership. Martin Luther King defined courage as the power of the mind to overcome fear. Folks, write that down. Courage is the power of the mind to overcome fear and the determination not to be overwhelmed by any object. Martin Luther King not only tried, he succeeded. How did he do it? He listened to the people. He communicated vision. He persuaded people to act. He consolidated many groups. He touched the people as he slowly walked through the crowd. And he changed the world. I hope you've enjoyed this 2-week study. I hope you've been moved to look at your business differently. I hope you've been inspired to take action. We have so much opportunity in front of us. We have so many people that need this opportunity, that need hope, that need a fresh start, that need to be part of a team that makes a difference. And you are the key to that person finding hope. You are the key to that person creating financial success. You are the person that holds the key to them finding out how to be part of a world that lives in happiness, that lives in health. To be part of a team that has a vision to create a world free of pain and suffering, we have the key. Will you give them the key? Will you be persuasive? Will you be courageous? Will you be victorious? Will you be willing to tell people, I have a dream, and here's what it is, and I want to help you have a dream, and here's how we're going to get it. And let's take each other by the hand, and let's go together. Let's grow together. Let's work together. Let's go change this world. Let's make this vision a reality. And let's take Dr. Wentz's vision and let's take it to the world. And let's make other people's dreams come true. And watch as our dreams also come true. Sound like fun? It is. Sound like work? It will be. Sound challenging? Absolutely. Want to be part of something that changes lives by changing yours first? You've come to the right place. Let's revolutionize your business. Let's revolutionize your life. And let's go change the world. I'll see you next time.